Oh my goodness. There we go. Woo! I can't do it loud because we're like in a public place and I don't want to like go woo really loud.
Please don't.
What's up, guys? It's great to see you guys. Yeah, everybody's going woo.
I'm so scared to talk loud. Hopefully they can hear me.
Yeah, I think.
Hopefully you can hear me.
Can you guys hear okay? We did warn the other people here that we were going to live stream, so but we are in Boston, and we've been in Boston for the last couple of days. This is our second day attending the trial.
Yeah, day 2.
So before we get into that, we have a surprise special guest joining the stream. Oh yeah, it's Benson and Stabler. Yeah, good stuff. The goats. Hold on a second here. Yeah, this.
Oh my God! Look how much music you have loaded.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I use a lot of sound effects.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my God! There's the Jeopardy one.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the stage, Larry Foreman, the DUI.
Yo.
What's up, homie?
How's it going? I am not worthy.
Oh yeah, you are, dude. How we doing, man?
I am doing pretty good,
though.
Yeah, no, I'm not in the studio right now since obviously this is spur of the moment, last moment, and I love these things, man. This is awesome. How was court today?
Not as interesting as yesterday, I don't think.
I disagree. I think it was actually really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think the neurosurgeon was interesting. I think
I'm just saying it was more interesting yesterday. That's what I'm saying.
Was it?
I thought so. Of course, dude.
I think yesterday was more interesting because it was that douchebag taking the stand getting ripped apart by Elise.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Right. That's what I mean. Is the whole Elise cross was just brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
I win again.
Yeah.
Is there a competition? You guys keeping tally? Because I'm beating Chandler. I think we're 4-0 or 5-0 now.
If there were.
About being right about things?
Well, not 5-0. It's like basically she owes me $5. Basically, it's like $1 for every time I'm right, and she won a couple times.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. It's not like 5-0. It's like 7-2.
Maybe I can start Venmo requesting you every time I'm right.
Right. No.
That's actually a really good idea.
I'm giving her ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Larry, what do you think about this case so far, man? Like, you've been dropping videos. I haven't kept up with them because you're dropping a lot of them.
Yeah, man, I'm dropping 2 a day because it's not just hot fire. I just have a lot of stuff to cover, and I don't want to miss out on it because if I sit on it, by the time I actually release it, first of all, it becomes stale. Second of all, it's just people are like, "Oh yeah, that happened last week. Talk about what happened this week, Larry." And I'm like, I get it. I agree with them 100%.
Yeah, everybody was up in arms today about the jury and everything that went down this morning.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
Well, basically, like right when we got into court, she immediately called the sidebar and was talking with the attorneys. And it was interesting, like right away when she was talking with them, all of their eyes darted over to the gallery. And it's almost like you could see them mentally counting the seats to figure out what juror they were like referencing, which we couldn't hear anything. But like all of them were just looking and like counting the empty chairs. And then they announced that that was going to be questioning each juror individually. And then she said she wasn't sure. They were going to shut the cameras down for that, of course. She wasn't sure if she was going to excuse the courtroom, but then she decided to excuse all of us. And we were out for probably like an hour, maybe a little more than that, right? And then we all went back in.
Yeah.
And everybody was like speculating that a juror was replaced, that it was a mistrial. No jurors were replaced. Someone even reported that the seating changed with the jurors. I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either.
Maybe possible, but I have a pretty good mental image of where everybody was sitting, and I don't think anybody switched.
Same here.
There was some rumor that like I saw right before I came down here that there was a rumor that like 2 jurors were flirting, and that's why they separated them all. That doesn't make sense because the person who's claiming there was a separation says that it was like from the middle of one of the back rows and the corner. I'm like, what? They're already separated. Why would you need to flip that?
Right.
I don't know.
The only rumor I believe, because I've seen it like 7 or 8 different times in my comments, and please tell me if I'm totally hallucinating or if I'm anywhere near, because again, these are not my impressions. These are impressions of my viewers. they basically said that one of the jurors, at least one of the jurors, was complaining to either the bailiff or whatever that was relayed to the judge, allegedly, that they were confused as to why, like, in the middle of a question, there would be like objection sustained, and the juror basically got, because it's been happening over and over and over for the last 7 weeks. The allegation by the public, it seems, the rumor is that the juror got upset and like alerted the bailiff, which alerted the judge, and the judge had to like give him like a private admonition or like a private instruction today, because now that it's no longer a rumor, like obviously something happened, but that's the only one I subscribe to.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing.
Don't say it.
No, I mean, I heard rumors, but even like someone told me some. But when I think about it, this person wouldn't even know anyway. So
well, of course, yeah, that's why. So but like all the other ones are so far fetched. I don't know.
Anything you hear is rumor because they kicked everybody out, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Do we have a clip of like Bev this morning of like what she actually said to the jurors?
It was on the live stream, I thought, because they didn't cut the cameras when she said. Well,
let me see if I can
cut the cameras
before she spoke to the jurors, because she didn't want to risk being on camera.
Right.
Of course. But and especially their faces and all that.
Yeah, she questioned each one individually. So I think without saying too much, it's just safe to say it's like just to make sure nobody's opinion has been tainted through social media or through conversation or like being out in public. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she just doesn't want the public to know anything about what's going on with jurors. That's all. Which is fine.
I will say, and I don't know if we talked about this. I think we probably did. And I'm losing my mind, I think. But were you surprised seeing, without going into a lot of detail, seeing the makeup of the jury?
Was I surprised seeing the makeup of the jury?
Yeah, like to me, the whole group as a whole, it skews much younger than I thought.
Very different than the first, very different from the first trial. The jury, much younger. The majority of the people are younger than I would expect.
Yeah.
And
oh, here we go. I
think we got a super cat. Super fan. I think we got a super cat. Super fan. Super cat. Super fan. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Look at her butt. Larry and Annie doing the Lord's work. I've never watched Will and witnessed him be so quiet. Also, Annie is gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's a filter.
All right, so here's the clip. Let's see what she says, because I haven't watched this yet.
Okay.
Right.
You guys were there, right? You saw this live.
Yeah.
A couple of questions for you. Were you able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation?
Oh, this is after she already spoke to them.
Yeah.
And we've discussed the other two questions, but I do need to stress for you that it's very, very important that no one discuss this case. Don't let anyone talk to you about the case. No comments about the case. We've seen how hard the lawyers have worked to pull this case together for you, and everybody's given it so much time. So please let's make sure that we follow that. That means each other. So with that, I know we're late getting started. We're going to take an abbreviated lunch today, only 30 minutes, and abbreviated breaks. So no morning break. We're going to start now and go till 1.
And then P.S. spoiler alert, we had a morning
That's
break.
it.
And then we had an hour lunch instead of a half hour. But okay, so I mean, obviously, if an educated guess would dictate that she thought somebody talked about the case or something, and then questioned each one of them about it, and then I mean, all the same jurors were there, so
no notebooks were moved around. There's only one juror who is not taking any notes. Everybody else is taking notes, and like pretty intently so. Some of them I would say are reactionary faces. All of them at the final cross today their eyes were glued on Jackson. Like I'm talking everybody's face at the same time, just following him.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, say that again.
All of their faces, all the jurors during Alan's cross at the end of the day, they were like glued to him, whereas before when Lally was up, they were like looking at him, looking at the witness when she would respond, but like not everybody was tuned in. But when Jackson was up, everyone was like laser focused on him, their eyes just tracking him as he walked back and forth. I was like, they were really paying close attention.
Okay, wait.
And
Time
I'm more impressed with Lally this trial than the last trial, if I'm being totally
he
honest.
got to the point today.
He grew some teeth.
He learned from his mistakes. Time out. Hold on real quick. So you guys were in the courtroom yesterday as well?
Yeah.
So when Alessi was questioning Burgess or whatever the fuck is Shannon Burgess, were they also glued onto Alessi or yesterday or not as much?
Not as much as Jackson, but yeah.
They were, but then I think they started to tap out when it got so redundant of like the timelines and all the images being shown and all of that. Like I think it was like almost information overkill to where they were kind of like, where's this going? You know?
Are you guys going to be in court tomorrow?
No.
There's no court till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No court till Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Oh,
because we're running ahead of schedule. They just ripped through the witnesses today.
Mm-hmm.
So because of
when is
that,
the Commonwealth resting?
I'm guessing Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You think so?
I think so.
That's what I'm hearing.
There's only one more witness I think they're calling. And
that is so unbelievable.
I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me.
I'm starting to get an idea today. When I was on Kurt Uncivil Law. I don't know if you guys know him. Really good guy.
He just had Vinny on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was live with Vinny.
Kurt and we had a conversation this morning, and he told me, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I started to get an idea. I'm like, what if Brennan is actually getting paid to just tank this case to make sure we get a not guilty? He's like working for the defense in a way, maybe not intentionally or maybe very intentionally, because if they get a third trial, they can't afford a third trial. And I don't mean financially. I mean, the witnesses cannot lie a third time. That is going to be too complicated to keep up with. Like, what were the lies in trial one?
Like, you're right about the money too.
Well, more expensive for Karen, realistically speaking, paying for 4 lawyers. But you're right. I'm with you. This is getting so insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about, the reason I asked if you guys are going to be in court tomorrow, and it's fine that you're not, but I was just like curious to see, because what you just said, because I read people for a living, and every tiny bit of information is valuable. And when you say that, listen to this, the jurors were watching Jackson like hawks. This is after Bev has done something to them. Bev has interfered, not like legally, but just emotionally, mentally, whatever, with the jurors. I'm starting to believe there is a high possibility that they have such a distrust for the court system, Bev and Brennan and Lally. That's why they were glued on Jackson, but I have no evidence. I just can go based on what you have said.
Possibly, but I think it also had to do with like his delivery on the cross. It was very short, very to the point, and like the way like they had been citing all of these numbers for the buckets of evidence, and he was like, for the sake of like just avoiding confusion, we're going to call it the cup, the pieces Buchanan collected, the pieces on the bumper, and then the piece I forget what the other fragment pieces were, the one single piece. And he like just very quickly kind of said, like, put up a diagram on the screen and said, so the only piece of glass from the bumper that matched is, out of all 6 of these pieces, or how many, was the one that Proctor collected. And like basically just illustrating and throwing his name in the mix again and discrediting them, but very like quick to the point. And I think that's why they were going he's making a point and he's making it quickly.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you for filling me in, because that was now that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
It was good though. It was a good way to end the day, I think.
Yeah.
Now they're just going to stew on that all weekend,
Right. And Jackson's gotten lucky with that. Like that same thing happened with Jen, I think, where, no, was it Jen McCabe or was it Buchanan? I'm not sure, where he just had the weekend, to let the jury just be like, dude, what about that Jackson? Because
that's how I am.
Yeah,
I'm all,
Larry.
What about that?
I asked them to marry me. I was like, I apologize to Chandler in one video. I was
when
like,
he was doing cross today, I was like, this one.
Yeah, honey, get in line. He's mine.
No, I know. I'm happily married, guys. Let's not spread the rumor.
I have a girlfriend too, so yeah. Will, Jackson is totally up for grabs. All you, baby.
Oh man, yeah. I told Annie that I was gonna fight her for him. Like, yeah.
Somebody's asking what this music is. It's like smooth jazz.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're like in a.
Hey, can you turn it down, like, bro?
So rude. No, but Jackson totally owns that jury, man. Like they are engaged when he gets up there.
I believe it.
Like he just takes the room over. It's wild. Like to see.
Question for you. So I'm going to use you as my eyes and ears in the courtroom since you were there the last couple of days. Out of curiosity, maybe you can tell me, maybe you can't. If you've been paying attention to the jury just globally over the last, 8 plus 6 hours, whatever, 14 hours that you had in the courtroom minus a few hours, what would you say, like, when there is basically, just generally speaking, when the prosecution, doesn't matter, Lally Brennan, or the defense, doesn't matter, Jackson Alessi or Yannetti, if he's done any witnesses, because I don't think he's been up there for a while, comparing them when they're up there versus when the prosecution is up there, regardless of the human doing, but the side, how do the jurors just generally, what is the atmosphere like? How do they react to the prosecution, and how do they react to the defense? Are they more warm? Are they more cold? Do they appear interested, disinterested? Like, anything is helpful.
I noticed one thing today because I've been trying to watch their behavior, and when was it Lally? It must have been. No, who was it? Was it Brennan or Lally who was questioning the neurosurgeon?
It was Brennan.
Okay, so
Dr. Wolf?
Yeah. So after he questioned him, one of the final questions was like basically trying to ask him, or one of the initial questions was how much, what percentage of your income do you make off of expert testimony? Basically just trying to infer, like, you're not here to make money. You actually make a living as a successful neurosurgeon. And right when he asked that, I saw one of the jurors in the front row, and she was kind of like made a face like wincing. I was like, why would you even ask that? And I thought that was really interesting because they've been not very reactionary for the most part, but I would say overall from what I've noticed, and that's not a ton, they seem warmer with the defense. Would you agree?
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, the thing is Karen Reed's defense is just overall more interesting to hear about than the prosecution's case. You know what I mean? Like, when you get into the defense, they're talking about dirty cops. There's all this implication about corruption. So the jury's like, wow, because they can't outright say it, but they can paint the picture and make the jury go, are they saying that there's corruption? What is going on here? So there's that element, and that is just ultimately more interesting than hearing about pieces of glass that were found in the yard and how cold it was and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like, true. It's like Annie said, there's a much younger element of this jury. So it tracks that they would have more interest in the dramatics that are involved in the case. Right. And all of that's coming from the defense.
Here's the thing with that though, and that this is the concern I brought up this morning on the way to court. My worry with that is, because they do skew a bit younger, I do wonder about their attention span. So my concern with yesterday with going over the timelines, like, I understand Alessi was discrediting his education, showing multiple resumes, showing that the timeline was 24 hours later, but like was doing it in such a very detailed way that I could definitely see one or more of the jurors being like, okay, we get it. And he made a typo on his presentation, and he really meant 24 hours earlier, but he dated the wrong date, and but the timelines really match. Like, I'm tuning this out now and not hearing the full context possibly. And that worried me a little bit yesterday, because it did seem like it was like, okay, you're really just trying to prove that that he lied about his credentials or education, and but you're not really disputing the synchronization of the timeline, the clocks. And so that, I think, could have possibly gotten in their head, or maybe went over their head. I don't know if you would disagree or agree.
I think that it's not a question of whether I disagree or agree, because
tell me what they're thinking.
Right. I mean, there's definitely cause for that concern, of course, but also I feel like it could go the other way, because we talked about this before. I feel like it could go the other way, where they're just interested in what's happening, because I mean, even though they're a younger generation, I don't know, man. I noticed that people are kind of smarter these days than they were
They're
when I
more
was
open
younger.
to the possibility of corruption.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, are you saying they're like 20s, like 30s? When you keep saying younger, because I know the other ones were like 40s and 50s.
There were definitely some that I even wondered, like, are they still technically in their teens, like 18, 19? There was one girl that I
know which one you're talking about,
and I was like, Jesus, man, she looks really young.
I would say the majority are definitely under 40. Would you
For
agree?
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. I think they were also running out of jurors, and a lot of like younger people who don't have social media. Because I'm meeting more and more people who are like in their 20s and 30s, and they're like, I don't have social media. I can't take it. I can't stand it. Maybe that's the makeup of our jury potentially. I don't know.
Maybe something I had said too in the car on the way was like, because they are younger, if they are active on social media or have TikTok or whatever it is, even if they're making like a concerted effort to have integrity throughout this, not research the case, switch off when they see something across social media, if they go on TikTok, it's without a doubt on their For You page, something is going to pop up in their face. And I can't imagine that they have not seen something, which hopefully, again, hopefully they have enough integrity to be honest about it or to turn away from it. But with how young they are, I don't know.
Well, they have an obligation before the court. I wouldn't go so far. It's always hard with jurors, because here's the thing: we want to believe, as lawyers, as members of the public, as judges, we all want to believe that jurors are going to be honest. And here's the thing: I have seen with my own eyes a juror come forward and say, hey, like, so this thing happened and I don't know what to do, judge, can you please help me? And usually it's innocuous. Sometimes they do get struck for it, but they usually are very Microdots is in your nice. What's up, Microdots? Dude, your videos, oh my god. I touch myself to those at night, just so you know.
Yeah.
But
I do it during the day.
When you're feeling extra emo.
Yeah, Richie makes it move all the time.
We all want to believe that the jurors are actually following the law, and if something were to happen, yada yada. But think about it. Let's just pretend for just a second that there's a juror on the panel who is like, pro Karen Reed or something, and they have been just briefly, maybe not like seeking it out, watching hours and hours of footage, but like just scrolling through TikTok, like you said, Elise, right? Sorry, I don't even know your name. Annie. Oh my god, why did I call you Elise? Annie. Hi, Annie. I'm Larry. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Larry. Nice to meet you.
Will is so good at introductions.
She's only one of the most popular true crime creators in the world.
No. Okay. First of all, that is like a gross exaggeration.
No, it's not.
It is.
What are you talking about?
Anyways, he has a point. Stop talking. Keep going.
Okay, go ahead.
And so imagine one of these jurors is like scrolling through TikTok and it stumbles upon like a video, and before they can realize, it's like, oh, and this is what happened, and they're just like, oh, no. But are they gonna run to the judge and be like, Your Honor, I just like, come on, let's be realistic. It's a minor violation. It's an accident. It's not intentional. I don't think that they are just gonna run to the court and say, Your Honor, I violated the rules, and
Bro, what about the dude who's some video popped, the dude in the press box, some video turned on with some,
it was like disco music,
sounded like porn music.
Oh my god,
hilarious.
It was so funny. It was like right when they were about to put
I'm not saying
on.
It was a porn, I'm saying it just sounded like obnoxious porn music.
So funny.
And he couldn't stop it.
He was scrambling. It was all like,
and it was at the worst time too, because like the lights were off. They were looking at the thing, and Bev laughed. She was actually cool about it.
The whole courtroom laughed.
Like every other time I've seen something like that happen, the judge gets mad and goes, "Get out right now!"
Yeah, he's all, "I'm so sorry, Your Honor."
He was like, "I'm sorry, Your Honor."
I'm telling you that there is something happening that is part of the schematic. I mean, do you remember yesterday? At the end of yesterday, and this is Microdots. Shout out to you, bro, for the video. Microdots pointed out how Bev was getting a little irritated with Alessi's cross at one point, and she signals not once but twice to Brennan, and then she starts smirking. He noticed, and then as soon as he objects, she's like, like she's got a giant shit-eating grin on her face, going, "Thank you, that's what I needed. Come over here, we're gonna break for the day," or whatever the hell she said. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? And the fact that she's like more loosey goosey now, it's like they already know they've lost and they just have to finish the charade. I don't know. I don't know
There's
anymore.
definitely a vibe of that, it seems like, but I'm still not 100% convinced that Bev was sending signals. Even though like I trust microdots, don't get me wrong. But
did you watch the video?
Hold on. Yeah. Can I give my opinion?
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't believe in like the conspiracy of it all. You know where I sit with all that.
Right.
And so I didn't believe that it was signals either. But then at the end of yesterday, I did notice that when I'm gonna forget her name, who is the forensic girl that was talking about taillights and stuff today.
I forgot.
But she's
very forgettable.
She started yesterday and she was very like, hello, my name is like very monotone, like they were talking about like all the million ways to test lights. And I looked up at Bev.
Today, Junior?
She was moving in her chair almost as though like she was trying to signal, and I could tell she was getting irritated. Then I saw her look at her watch. Then I saw her right away you could see she like did this, then she did this, then she was frustrated, and then she's all, can I see counsel at sidebar? And that's when she called it. So I'm like, I think there are points where she is for sure wanting to tap out. So whether she is sending a signal or she has like a tell that she isn't aware of, I definitely, because today again too, how many like right away when we got dismissed early and she was like, we're gonna not even do a half day tomorrow, we're gonna do this. It's like you could tell she's over it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're taking such a long break. Like Wednesday,
she did this last trial
Thursday,
too.
Friday,
she loves
Monday.
Her breaks.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her breaks. This last trial is happened too.
No, I understand that, and I have no objection to it. Look, I get it. It's daunting. It's she's doing it more for the jurors. Let's pretend just for a second. Let's give her 1 milliounce
at least that's her
credibility.
Excuse. At least that's her excuse.
But why are we taking Thursday's not a holiday. Tomorrow, May 22nd. Friday, May 23rd is not a holiday. Okay, May 26th is a holiday. Why are we taking Thursday, Friday off, Bev?
I could see Friday possibly for like the long weekend or even doing a half day Friday and then maybe a half day Thursday. But yeah, she just had said that everybody's ahead. And I'm guessing it's because the state is going to rest sooner than they anticipated since they're not calling the other witnesses.
You did say that. I'm sorry. You did say that.
Which that's not confirmed. That's just my guess. I could be totally wrong. But if that is the case, if they're not obviously calling Proctor or Higgins and like all these things, then if they're going to rest early, they are ahead of schedule.
Okay. I mean, valid theory. I'll definitely, motion granted, Annie.
Thank you.
Whatever. No, I'm just so. Even Chandler is like, I still watch your videos, Larry, and the occasional whatever, because she watches my stuff. I don't know why. But she's like, I'm so over this trial. She's like, I don't think it's going to be, I'm convinced it's going to be either a mistrial or a not guilty or a hybrid like we were in the first trial. There's 0% chance they convict across the board.
No way.
So
that jury that I looked at the last 2 days is not convicting Karen Reed.
Why? Why do you say that, Hefe?
Not even of manslaughter? You don't think?
Maybe. Not, well, maybe.
Why do you say that?
That's much of a chance, I think.
Why?
Simply because there's so much doubt in they're really focusing on they are doing the reasonable doubt thing. Don't get me wrong. The third party defense, the third party culprit defense, that's a thing, but they are doing the reasonable doubt thing when it comes to her actually hitting him, right? So you see that like every time there's cross, they poke holes in it. Like the whole thing with Proctor and the pieces of glass that he collected today, them pointing these things out, them pointing out the chain of custody, things like that. But they also point out things like Alessi did, like what Alessi did today was he just reminded the jury in his cross of Dr. Wolf. Like he wasn't even for Dr. Wolf. He didn't care. He was just like, did you see this laceration over his eye? You know what I mean? Like, how does that explain him being hit by a car and then hitting backwards and then he has no other injuries on his body? You know what I mean? And he didn't even do that. He just let the jury kind of figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unless
just the right way to do it.
Right. So there's this element most definitely of creating reasonable doubt on the physical aspects of whether or not she struck John O'Keefe with her vehicle. So I think that that's what they're going for. They're focusing more on reasonable doubt in that department, and they're focusing on third-party culprit and cover-up on, you know, to have a solution of
who done it.
Who did it then? You know what I mean? Like, it's really better. It's a lot better when you can say, not only did my client not do it, but this is who we think did, and this is why we think they did it. You know?
Yeah.
What about O'Keefe's family and friends? What has their demeanor been like the past couple of days that you've noticed?
Well, I know that as of, what was it, yesterday morning, everybody was told, like, on both sides, they had to be, like, super stoic, right? And, like, not make expressions because of things that had happened when we were not in court, I believe.
Yeah.
That was also jurors complaining, I understand, that, like, they're glaring at the witness, they're glaring at Karen, they're glaring at the lawyers.
There's no way to know whether the jurors complained about anything like that. I think,
but they moved Paul to the back row one day, and then
but I don't think that had anything to do with the jury, though. I think that was Karen's camp, probably. That was like, dude, like, I got to sit here and deal with this guy giving me dirty looks the whole time. Like,
but the same thing happened. He did it last trial, so why start now? I mean, I don't know,
because she got sick of it, I guess.
Okay.
There's definitely, I mean, the way that they're approaching this case, like, you see David Yannetti, he's a lot more aggressive this time around than he was last time. Alan Jackson's been more aggressive this time around.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Jackson 2.0. It's like the sickest thing ever.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, they're definitely super strict about, like, not even whispering. Like, if a bailiff even sees you mouthing, they go, "No talking."
He got in trouble.
Yeah, well, Nan did.
No, yesterday.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got somebody else in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I got somebody else in trouble. Like, yeah, because I was just trying to offer her my seat because it was an intern who needed to communicate with the other intern who, you know, and so I was like, is it better for you to sit here? And all I did was just mouth it, and then she was like, started saying something, and then the guy was like, here, come with me. And apparently they had beef with her for the last couple of days, them targeting her, and
damn it, Will.
They're cracking down on conduct in the courtroom, like, really
sure.
strict.
It makes sense. Yeah. Wow, I'm learning so much, you guys. Thank you for the intel, and thank you for this impromptu, spontaneous stream or whatever.
It makes a difference when you see that jury, dude.
Yeah, I believe you.
A big difference.
I've been trying to get in on this action, but it's been difficult, and I'm not even mad, dude. I'm not even mad.
About what?
To get in the courtroom, because first of all, my schedule has been like, so I just fired 2 associates. I'm also suing them. That's another question, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a biggie, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not the point of this conversation. And what's happening now for me is my new associate is finally caught up, because, you know, it takes like 7-8 weeks to not train, but kind of get the groove going. And we're week 7 right now. So she should be like, she's already fully up and running. And next week we are going to be like solid, like we're already solid now. And next week is going to be even better. So I was hoping to go like the first week of June. And I've been in communications with, you know, the Reed team to kind of like, hey, can I come? And I haven't really had a response. And like I said, I'm not even mad. That's what's been difficult for me. So my schedule, obviously, and now their schedule, obviously. So I don't want to impose. I'm an out-of-stater. You know, I have to catch a flight and a hotel and yada yada. So like, if I don't get in, I don't get in. I don't care. I was there a couple times last year, and I'm happy. That was enough for me. But like, I do, if there is an opportunity, I would love to have maybe one day before the trial is over.
I mean, yeah, get in contact with whoever you got in contact with last time. I'm sure they could squeeze you in for one of the days. You know,
I know, and the thing is, I don't
want to speak for them, but
no, I'm not pressuring.
See why it would be. In theory, I don't see why it would be an issue.
Yeah, I'm not pressuring them, but like I said, it's I just kind of threw it out there and just kind of I'm waiting for a response back. I like I said, I'm not even mad, dude. I am so happy that things are going the way that they are. It's, to me, being like this passive observer. If I had never been, I would maybe be just a little upset, but I was there last year in the trial number 1, and they were very gracious, and to me that's like already a huge W. So
Yeah, yes, to answer your question in the chat, yeah, I'm feeling optimistic, most definitely. Like
What about you, Annie?
the
Oh, sorry.
morale in the defense's team is excellent. Excellent. And they're all super invested. Now obviously they can't discuss the case with us, but
Yeah.
They are, absolutely invested in Karen's case, like personally. You can tell that they care,
Yeah.
and they just get along. Like it's just so, like, you see those videos of like Alan cooking, and like that's just what they do. They know they're gonna cram, they know they got to come up with a defense and work hard, and so they make a thing out of it, and they've become friends, it seems like. Like it's just a cool thing to be around. Like it's a really good vibe around Karen and her defense team and her family.
What about you, Annie? What did you watch the first trial?
I did. Yeah. I personally think that there's way too much reasonable doubt to convict. But I was explaining on the car ride earlier today with Will and Esty, I was like, my only worry is because I've been doing polls too over on my channel, just like what are people thinking day to day? And I've seen the percentages teeter a bit. Like I always put 3 buckets. I put guilty, innocent, and being framed, or too much reasonable doubt to convict. And for the past several weeks, guilty's been hovering anywhere from like 4 to 6%, and then the balance is split between the other two. But then that started going down to the 2%, which I was like, okay, that looks really promising. Like it seems like everybody agrees that there's too much doubt or that she's innocent. But then I started thinking, I'm like, everybody who's watching from as an outsider or who followed the first trial, that isn't necessarily indicative of what the jury is viewing this time around, because they haven't been pre-exposed to anything. So there's a lot of information all of us know collectively, or have seen, or have talked with each other about, that hasn't yet been introduced to them, or firsthand. They didn't see firsthand testimony of Proctor like we did in the first trial. They're not going to see Higgins take the stand. So I'm like, it's difficult for me to know what's going on in their mind, given what they've learned in this trial solely, where we have more of a broader scope of everything, if that makes sense.
And they just rock. Like the whole thing with when that part when Alessi brought up the there was a moment where Alan Jackson, Alessi is crossing that one dude from Aperture, right? And there was a moment where Alan Jackson just leans over and he has a yellow note that he goes over like this and hands it to Alessi. Alessi grabs it and he goes like that. And then right there, and I was waiting for it because I was like, what is that? What's he about to bring up? And then that was when he realized that he said, are you aware that there is no
Bachelor's of Science
at University of Alabama? So like, you're a liar, dude.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was just beautiful. Like that whole time, Karen is just
all of them just working, researching, pulling LinkedIn up on their computer.
Totally.
Like
that is the not fucking around crew for sure. Like they are, and the funny thing is about it is it seems almost easy to them. Like I
they're not wearing their stress.
No, not at all. Like,
well, they're experts. They become literally experts in the Karen Reed case. They're all experts now that it's 2.0. Everything is locked in. Lally has given the defense the biggest gift that you can give in trial number 1, and that is the testimony of every single possible witness you can get a hold of. Right. Now, Brennan, for better or for worse, is cherry picking. But he's cherry picking in the wrong way. He's not calling the owner of the house, Brian Albert. He's not calling Proctor.
And he's not like the jury's not going to see this. They'll notice this because these names keep coming up. And that jury's going to be like, I want to hear from these people. I want to hear what they have to say. I want to hear what their explanation is for this. And when you just avoid them the way that the way that Brennan seems to be doing,
you have to wonder why. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because like we've heard these people, and when the prosecution is going to go, well, the prosecution rests, there's going to be at least one juror on that panel who's going to start scratching their heads going, wait, what about at least Proctor?
Yeah, what about the lead investigator? Why isn't he coming on?
Exactly. So
right. Like, explain that one away, that the lead investigator, and they do everything they can to avoid the word proctor. It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's just really funny to see that.
Trooper Paul. Oh my God, they have to call Trooper Paul the defense. This is such an embarrassment.
There's no need, but
I know.
I just want it.
Me too. But they have to call Brian Albert. They have to. They have to call. Well, they don't have to, but they should call Matthew McCabe because he's going to contradict potentially his wife. And I don't know. Calling Allie McCabe, is that even necessary anymore? Because she's not going to slip up again. We all know that.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know.
All I care about is the shoe.
The shoe. Oh my God. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way.
I hear about this fucking shoe one more time. Lose my goddamn mind.
I dude, it's so funny. Hold on.
I was all on board that day one about the shoe, but then I feel like I kind of used critical thinking and I used my brain a little bit and looked at other evidence photos.
This is courtesy of Justice Serve TV and chat right now. Yeah, this is courtesy of Justice Serve TV.
Dead.
Higgins. They haven't. I thought they called Higgins because I heard like the video, and they never called Higgy.
No, they had Buchanan read all their text messages.
Okay, listen closely to this. Oh wait, I gotta share it. Hold on.
Yeah, dumb.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I love you, bro.
I love you more, bro.
Any relaxation plan over the next few days?
Yeah,
No alarm for at least a day. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Reed, what about the shoe?
With the shoe.
God.
Oh my God.
You're just hobbling away with your cane. What about the shoe?
That's so fun.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so like when they got into the SUV, you know, Karen was like, "Bye, smart ass. I'll see you next time."
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you can't find something to have fun with, because otherwise it's too infuriating. Either I'm gonna find ways to make fun of this or I'm gonna get mad, you know, and I still get mad. I get mad a lot.
I feel like your energy may be better spent getting mad.
Right. Well,
It's one of my most watched videos on my channel that I've made out of, I don't know how many, like feels like 100, but it's not, maybe like 50 that I've made so far of the new trial.
The shoe?
The shoe, yeah. I was like, is this the shoe that's going to change the entire trial? This shoe might end the course of the Karen retrial. It's got 175,000 views, and it was only posted like 11 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
Annie and Larry, mark my words.
Okay.
I will have satisfaction about this shoe.
No,
business
tell us, what is the
before the end of
theory?
this trial.
I
Before the end of the trial.
just okay. Listen, Will, you're at about a 7 right now. I need you to
Drink
about a
it,
1.5.
Annie. Drink it
Honestly, I
in.
feel like I'm gonna go to
1.5.
this bar right
Will,
now and I'm gonna
Will,
get
we
tequila.
can't take you seriously
I'm
when
gonna
you
lose
are
my fucking
when you are
mind.
raising your voice, and just tone it down. I want to hear you out. Tell us your theory.
Oh, I don't have one. I just know it's a different shoe. I just know it's a different shoe.
He just knows.
Okay, that's the theory. So of course you have a theory. Your theory is it's a different shoe.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not even a theory. It's a fact.
Okay.
The sole on that shoe is black, bro. Black as Jen McCabe's soul. Okay? Period. That's right. You be quiet. Drink it in. Drink in the truth.
I'm gonna honestly.
No, my heart stopped. Sorry, you'll have to give me a
fucking
minute.
hard right now. God.
Why? Okay,
Yeah.
so I did have a photographer. It's actually interesting you bring that up because I do have at least one fan that has backed your theory up with evidence. They said they are a professional photographer, and the way that the light is supposed to cast a shadow when you are photographing from an angle does not correspond to the shadows that are present in the photograph.
Shadows don't work like that, bro.
That's
So okay, let me ask
an
you this
interesting
then.
theory.
When you look at all of the other evidence photos that have been marked into evidence,
I
and
just
how
want to say it for the record. You guys are the ones talking about the shoe now, not me.
No, okay. I have a
But
question
please
for you.
keep going.
When you look at all of the evidence photos of the shoe in the snow at 34 Fairview,
I'm saying the
How do
shoe
you-
in that one pic
So
has
you,
the black sole.
So you think they took photos of a shoe with a white sole, and then they're all, you know what? Fuck it. Let me throw this one with a black sole and
Or
take
they
the
just
picture.
didn't pay attention. I think they took the picture with the black sole first, and then
and realize, and we're like, we need to go find a white
Yeah.
sole.
and then use the picture with the black sole. Yeah.
Am I the only one thinking that they just replaced the shoe and they?
That was the theory, but there's photos and evidence of the white sole shoe in the snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Walk it back.
There
Walk
is.
what you were just saying back to me.
No, all I'm saying is in that one pic, that sole of that shoe is black.
So how?
Why they did that, I have no idea.
So then they had two shoes there. They were photoing in total.
Right. Something is fishy.
Okay.
If they're planning taillight pieces, why is it so
Have you ever heard
far-fetched
the
that
term
they-
Occam's razor?
Yes. And the simplest answer is usually the
Is
correct
that,
one.
Is that
As if
inflation?
it looks fucking black, it's fucking black, Annie.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. You know
That's
what?
the simplest
Here's the
solution.
deal. If it gets brought up before the end of the trial, and if it is a different shoe, and if
I
you
will have
get
satisfaction by the end of this
And
trial.
I
in the shoe
will-
business.
pound like a full bottle of tequila to my head or whatever needs to happen to like pay retribution for this, but I don't think it's going to happen.
there are two different types of Nike, one with a white sole and one with a black sole. So I am not discrediting that theory by any stretch. I think Will's theory, again, I keep calling it that because we don't have confirmation. It's all theoretical still. Will's
You have
theory does
confirmation
credence.
because it's a fucking picture
Okay.
and the sole is black.
Then why?
bro.
Where are those white stripes in the picture?
What do you mean? That's
that
not
black sole.
that's not the same shoe though.
So then why are you even showing it as a reference?
That's him showing it, dude.
Oh.
Like
That's just a
Larry's
photo. That's just a
bullshit. That ain't
photo.
got nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck about Larry's shoe.
Sorry, I'm accusing you of all of this.
Total. Well, I mean, I am the one.
I just
sharing it,
found
but
this.
he-
I'm like, okay, I know I've seen a photo like this before. So like, all right, we can move on. We don't have to linger on the shoe. I mean, I don't know. I give up.
Good, because I'm right.
Agree to disagree. I want to agree. I would
know.
love that to be the case.
And when it happens, you will be satisfied as well, as much
Okay.
as I am.
Okay.
Not as much as I am. Nobody's going to be as satisfied as I am.
Okay. Honestly, I'm done with Shoegate. I'm
Yeah.
done.
No. Shoegate is
Benny
on.
Benassi's Satisfaction starts playing in the background.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, so what else?
I am so embarrassed right now. We're literally in a public
Hey,
place, and that is playing so fucking
Mission
loud.
accomplished.
Annie has like
I
secondhand
I have
embarrassment.
fantasized about embassing Annie in
Oh my
public.
God,
for
I'm gonna. I
5
just get up
years.
and walk away.
5 years.
It's working.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, we've been friends for so long, but this is the first time we got to meet in person.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
That's awesome. Good for you
Yeah.
guys. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then tonight we have dinner with Aiden, which is gonna be cool.
Nice.
And SD.
Yeah, and SD and Meredith. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, they're good people. Chandler and I, we had dinner with Aiden and Meredith when we were there last year. We went to some fish place because Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's really good.
yeah. Yeah, I've never been to the place that we're going, but
Where are we going?
Well, I don't want to say,
Oh,
you know, but
okay.
yeah. I'll tell you.
Restaurant. You guys are going to a restaurant.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
There you go.
We're going to have a meal of food.
Excellent.
Nice.
So what's up with you, Larry? What's your next
I'm actually gonna get a drink. Do you want something?
yeah, I'll take a Woodford.
Woodford,
Yeah.
rocks or neat?
Neat.
Okay.
Make it a double,
A
please.
double? Oh, no.
Okay.
I know. No.
Wow. Like,
The other night, certain that.
oh, you didn't see me
We
last
were at
night.
dinner the other night
didn't
with
see
a
me
girl
last
from my
night.
team, and he started crying at the table talking about
Aw.
a movie.
Talking about
Aw.
Warrior, bro. Warrior is a fucking tearjerker, dude.
Oh, Will's a
Like I just
softie.
watched it and I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's such a good movie.
I would have never guessed that
Yeah,
you have a heart.
Not in Canton. Yeah, we're not going to Canton. Yeah, believe it or not, Larry, I have feelings. It's pretty crazy.
That is really
I'm just
insane.
learning this, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. You were asking what I'm up to.
Yeah. Like
So
you got your eye on any other cases besides this one right now, or
so my audience really wants me to do Donna Adelson, which
Okay.
is the mother-in-law who allegedly orchestrated the murder of her son-in-law, and nobody knows who the murderer is. So I think that's what's the hook in that trial. They're
Okay.
trying to like figure out, and they're prosecuting the mom because they have evidence that she was the mastermind behind hiring the assassins. And then after that, Koberger, obviously, did he do it? You know, the Idaho 4.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Diddy. I plan on doing. I keep talking about it, but it's so hard because I don't have independent facts. I have to rely on secondary sources. But, and get this, I found out 2 days ago that Law and Crime has gotten the transcripts from like the opening in the Diddy case, and they took it and they made like an AI video as if you're watching the trial.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who
So
did
I'm
this
gonna
Law and Crime?
Law and Crime. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna like put it behind a paywall because nobody really wants me to do it. But the only way for me to do it is like 99-cent membership is not gonna like break anybody because those who don't want to watch it are not gonna get access to it anyway. They don't have to worry about it. But the ones who are like, yes, I want to watch it. Okay, you pay 99 cents, you have access to it. That way, it doesn't interrupt the flow of the channel.
I mean, yeah, that if it's the transcripts, cool. Like I that's the thing. For those of you in the chat who don't know, in federal cases, which Diddy's is a federal case, you don't get to hear. They don't stream it or televise the trials. That's when you see those artists renditions of the people sitting on the stand and whatnot, because of in federal cases they don't stream or televise.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that video now that Karen Reed is on pause. I will probably have time to kind of like, because I still have a bunch of Karen Reed videos. Oh, you're too sweet, Dina.
Not that Dina. Thank you.
I have a few more because I'm like a couple days behind on Karen Reed. I caught up on for the most part, and I axed a bunch of content that's just boring. I want to do the fun stuff. I want to do like the stuff that excites people. I don't want to waste people's time. So that's why I did what's his face yesterday and today, Shannon, and then Buchanan premiered like a couple hours ago. So and Shannon premieres in 52 minutes. So tomorrow, what I'm probably
your
going to
reaction
do.
videos are everything, bro.
Oh, you should see the one today. I lose it. I absolutely lose it. Like today, the one that premieres at 7. But anyway, tomorrow is probably going to be like more Buchanan, and like we have to cover the autopsy report. We have to cover a couple more stuff that I'm still behind on. But thank you, Lynn. But like this weekend, I'm answering a bunch of questions. So I tweeted what people want me to answer. Like they have questions. Let's see how it's doing. It's probably got a bunch right now. It's got like 33. No, it's got to have more. No, it's got 34. Okay, that's good. 34 questions people have. I'm just going to go through it, make a video on that. I'm going to do like a top 5 moments. I may do like top 3 moments because this week only had like 3 days of trial. And then, yeah, I'll just keep cranking out content. Diddy, Adelson, or Koberger. And then I think there's one more. I forget, but those 4 are on my radar. Karen Reed, Diddy, Koberger, Adelson.
Yeah. And we definitely, you and I, the first time we streamed together and it was on the fly, man, we had a great time. Like people really enjoyed our chemistry, and I look forward to doing that again with you soon. Just like a one-on-one live stream. We'll go over some stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, without interruption from this Annie chick that is like totally hogging the microphone and the camera.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was trying to shit on you, Annie. You walked in at the worst possible time. You actually got to hear it.
Oh, great. What else is new?
Oh my god! As soon as you left, he just started talking shit, dude.
Perfect.
Yeah, ask chat.
Yeah, man. So Annie, tell us what you got coming up soon.
Hmm?
Like what your channel and podcasts. You
Oh.
know what you do. Tell us
Is
what
there
you've
something
got going.
specific I'm supposed to reference or no? Oh.
No, I'm asking. I'm for the audience so they know what to look forward to from
Oh.
you.
I don't know. I cover a bunch of true crime cases. I'm going to Idaho, but today there was a motion actually filed to continue. So the Idaho trial may not be happening in August as scheduled. But
Koberger?
yeah, Brian Koberger. And then I go back out on tour in July.
Right on. Tour?
What kind of tour?
For what?
Live tour where I do cases in person, live.
I love it.
In like comedy clubs, different venues. So this last one we did, it was a 6-city tour. This one's 25 cities.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
that's cool.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Annie's like rocking, bro.
Thanks.
Nobody
So-
works harder than Annie.
Thank
How
you.
does it work? You travel from city to city, like covering local cases, or
So this time around, normally I pick like one specific case, and this
Mm.
time I'm going to do the same case in each city, but it's one that currently is unsolved. And I've been chatting with the wife and the family, and they're trying to raise awareness. It's a horrific case out of Arizona where a father was killed on FaceTime with his 2 kids. And so we're going to be presenting that case and sharing some surveillance images and videos and trying to just really like raise awareness and get the word out. And then there's some other things that we'll do throughout as well. But yeah, it's basically just a live episode.
that's really cool. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love
Yeah.
that.
Do we know the
yeah.
case, or is it because I know you didn't mention the name or whatever, and you don't have to. I'm not asking you to, but is it something that we know, or is it still under wraps?
I don't think many people have heard about it, but hopefully this will help that. We're just still trying to get a lot of information. It's tough because the police aren't sharing a lot of information, but it's been 5 years. It's a suspect, but they have not been named, so trying to be really careful with that.
Oh, then forget it. Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah,
Awesome.
that's about it.
Right on.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Raising 2 toddlers.
I think
What
I'm
about
gonna
you,
go-
Will? What do you
What am
got
I?
in store? Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
tell us.
never know until the minute, dude. You know, like I never
Hopefully
know.
knee surgery.
I'm no, I don't. Hopefully I don't need
well,
it.
no, but like hopefully you get it fixed.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm still gonna go live as much as possible, and I'm still gonna cover the trial. But on my free time, I'm gonna be laid up with a ice on my knee and elevated. But, but yeah, I'm totally invested in this case. This is all my content right now, and then the next case. I mean, I'm obviously gonna cover Turtle Boy's case as long as that's going on. Anything related to this, I'm obviously gonna keep updates on Sandra Birchmore and her getting justice and things of that nature. And then who knows? I always find something to talk about. So, you know,
Cool.
but yeah, man. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up because we're getting picked up in 45 minutes.
I don't have to like get ready, do I? Or is it that kind of place? Can I just
I have no idea.
cruise up in this?
I've never been to this place, so I don't know.
I'm at your mercy. So
Wow.
somebody asked, do you mind if I answer this question real quick? Can you tell us anything about Bao's case?
Oh, Bao's case? I have no idea. You would know more. Didn't he retain you?
That's what I was asking for permission to answer that question, if you don't mind.
Oh, like if you want it, that's up to you. He's your client.
Right. And I'm very limited in what I'm permitted to say. But the update that I can give everybody is that the case is moving. And I have teamed up with, and I tweeted about this, so this is not news. I teamed up with Rondaza. He's got a couple of other protesters, I understand, that have happened this week and last week. So I think we are all just going to keep moving this together. Like, obviously, we didn't file a lawsuit yet. And
I was really hoping to meet Randazzo while I was here, and I didn't get to.
Maybe next time.
That dude is just the dopest. I love that guy. Like he's a warrior for free speech, and he does not squander the right to free speech. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
dude has got a filthy mouth, and I'm all about it. Like, it's great.
I also spoke with Tim Bradle, who is also a G.
Yeah.
And they're like Bradle. I'm trying to get Bradle to help out Bao, and he agreed at a very heavily discounted rate. So shout out to Bradle,
Nice.
because Bao is crowdsourcing that fee, and he's got the trespassing charge, which is
Man,
again,
that is awesome, dude. And you guys helping Bow out because I don't think he has any money.
no, he will after I'm done with him.
Right. So Bow is a YouTube creator. Who I think
B-O-W?
BAO.
Oh, okay.
And he got arrested at the buffer zone. He's the only person that's gotten arrested besides Erica Walsh. But
He didn't
was
just
the
get
first
arrested, Will. He got
was the-
injured
Ooh.
He got injured
by Hardman.
Wow. Same thing happened to Tom. Tom
CPU?
Tom CPU. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a hold of you because Hardman literally picked Tom CPU up and then walked away
What?
and walked him across the street and dislocated his shoulder or something. Now
What?
Tom's in a sling right now.
When does this happen?
Like the other day. I saw him yesterday morning and he told me about it. I was like, dude. So
Okay.
I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten in touch with you.
Well, it's not up to me because I can't. I have his number, but I can't call him and be like, "Hey, Tom, I should represent," because that's called client solicitation. It's against the bar rules. But if he calls me, like, just you have nothing. Like you, Annie, you guys can both like after you leave, be like, "Hey, Tom, you should call Larry," and he'll be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then if he calls me, then that's game on. But if he doesn't call me, I can't reach out to him.
There's evidence. There's evidence. So
yeah, okay. Well, if I hear from him, I'll hear from him. If I don't, I don't. That's up to him.
He was live streaming when it happened. So
yeah, no, Tom is good people. He may not even know what to do. He may be focusing on healing right now, and I encourage that anyway. So
sure, of course,
I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I hope he gets a hold of you because I feel like he's got a case. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean,
Your title says otherwise.
I kind of am. See what I mean? See that? Okay.
El jefe de verdad.
Esquire, my friend.
Esquire.
Yes. I graduated from the law school, the Law Institute of Stuff. That's where I graduated from a Cracker Jack box.
Hey, at least could you say you're currently pursuing it?
No, because that would be a lie. That would be a lie. We don't do that.
Will has been pursuing it for the last 17 years, Andy. I don't know if he told you.
Yeah, 17 years.
He'll get it one day. Yep. All right, you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks
man.
so much for having me on.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do something, me and you, soon. I'll be in touch.
100%.
I love it, man.
All right.
Have a good one,
See ya.
brother.
Bye, chat.
Larry, bro.
So good.
Dude, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
All right. Any final thoughts, Annie?
Final thought?
I mean, you don't have to have any. You can just say fuck it and say bye. That's what I was
I
gonna
feel
do.
like I should have a
Alright.
good final thought. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't come to mind.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have
oh
one.
God,
either.
I need to tell you about some things I learned about the Diddy trial after this.
Oh shit.
You'll get demonetized if I say it, so I
Word.
don't want to.
Right on. Guys, thank you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit the like, smash that motherfucker. And all the support, guys. I'm sorry. When I have guests, I don't usually read the super chats out loud and everything, but I am really, really grateful to all of you guys for all your support. Thank you guys so much. This was really fun. I'm really glad we got to do this. But yeah, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. I love you very much. Adios. Hold on a second. I got to do stuff.
yet.
Wait, not yet. Hold on. This is the awkward part. The awkward part. Here we go.
We got to get you a better system.
Yeah, I know. All right. Peace.